Hey Desiree, you're just going to go over your grade quickly. So I think you really did well in the design area. You showed a lot of creativity, ingenuity, effort, and risk-taking in your design choices. So good job there. Technical specifications, the main thing that I noticed with your design consistency, you definitely have consistent color scheme, um, consistent logo, your tone is pretty similar in each ad. But you are missing consistent fonts throughout all three designs. And that's what I was hoping for with this. Although I do like to see what all the different fonts look like, and you were good about keeping it to 2 fonts at the most per design, 2 or 3, so that's good, but they aren't consistent throughout the 3 designs. So I did dock off a little for that. But I didn't do the full amount, I just took off 0.2, so I actually gave you a little bit extra there. They all have different headlines. You are missing a subhead, but I didn't dock off for that. Messages, images, call to action, animated elements, and then you did actually put in the color scheme throughout, consistency, so that's great. Let's see here. You did give me the right file formats. I did notice that your naming conventions weren't great. It just looks like you just downloaded them. So one way you could do this is, Prismacolor Instagram story ad, Kingfisher Instagram story ad, Mountain Scene Instagram story ad, flower, is one way of naming these files so that when you go back, say 2 years later, to look at your files, you can automatically know exactly what you're looking at without even having to open it. So let's look at your actual designs. So these look really good. One of the things that's really popping out is this black bar. I feel like that's a little harsh. Maybe if you would have used teal and just done a floating rectangle shape with white text over the top, that might have tied in better to make this visually one thing. And the black is awfully harsh for your design that you have here. I don't mind the yellow, but it's not being used in any of the other designs. So that's another thing that's kind of coming into play with the consistency if you want to be super consistent. I know that you use the centralized larger logo on these 2 designs, and this one doesn't have that, but the fact that you're using the same logo, and even the placement of your logo in your ads is helping to create design consistency, which is great. And like I said, we have different fonts in each ad for the most part. But I do like your extra little things that you brought in. I think, using the pencils as a design element is a great idea, even adding in the hand on this particular design. You have 2 flower images which really tie into each other, and this one's a mountain scene, but it still works because you're using some of the same elements, such as the pencils, that match the art, which is really clever. This pencil being cropped off, you maybe could have just completely clipped that one out or erased that one, just because it looks a little awkward being cut off, but these ones make sense because they're just going off the edge of the page. These ones are also cropped off, but maybe if you could find a pencil that would go all the way off, that might have been a good consideration, but I understand you probably have imagery limitations. All of your animations are looking good. I like that you used consistent backgrounds, kind of a watercolory type look, which helps create that design consistency that I was looking for with this particular set of ads. I like that you use different icons on each. And I really like the concept of this one, black and white fading to color. I think makes a lot of sense in a conceptual way with what you're conveying here, because they even have color in their name, you have color here, and then the ad even has to do with color. So conceptually, black and white fading into color. So good job tying that in. Yeah, so just some small changes. There's a period here. I don't think you need that. And you might want to capitalize up for more info. Maybe capitalize the first word on these, since this is, I think that might make a little more sense. These ones you have all uppercase. These ones you have title cased. You know, the two you don't have, but that's okay. Sometimes you don't need to uppercase everything. But yeah, you've done really well, so good job.